Chris?
Well, I think you've said some of it already. I mean, some of the things that Sally was saying are things that, looking at those photographs, I think most people would have had a stab at and guessed. You know, like you say, you're going to bring emotionally important people there, and you know, the fact that the baby is your baby, and you know, that's stuff that doesn't really surprise me. There wasn't really much in that I found particularly compelling.
There was a picture that she looked at of my mother, and she said there's abandonment around you. And my mum had me fostered until I was 6, and then died when I was 8. So there has been this sort of abandonment. I mean, I'm not a sceptic, I wouldn't say. I'm open-minded, but there were things that she wouldn't have picked up on from just looking at those photos.
Just to emphasise what I was saying before about cold reading, I'm not saying that any of these ladies are deliberately using a con technique. I think they're probably using the same technique without realising that's what they're doing.
Blew the lamp up!
Yeah, happens all the time where I am as well, you see. Well, I just think there's something wrong with the lamp.
I haven't exploded a lamp ever, have you?
I can't remember being in here and going on.
For your psychic energy. Mia, do you explode lamps when the power is happening?
We had a really good one actually on the haunted homes, and it was a light going on and off, and I go, now go on, it was going on, then now go off, and no one else could do it. So.
We should say that Sally is actually on Star Psychics on Fridays, 10 o'clock on ITV2. So we should say it's very popular. So don't miss out on that one. Right. Okay. Let's have a look at the reading that Mia gave. Here we go.
I'm seeing a glossy magazine or magazines, but it's not just a case of you reading a magazine. You're going to have something to do with the magazine. I see a room stripped bare, so it's decorating or something. The flooring's lovely. Or in your past, you've worked in real structured jobs. You know, you start at 9 and finish at 5. There's structure. Whereas that's changing now. It's going to be more flexible. I see a pear-shaped stone on another ring, as if you did wear it or should wear it.
What's that ring then?
Oh, it's my engagement ring. It's an opal. It's a lozenge. It's round. I mean, the shape wasn't 100% right, although you did say at one point it was a lozenge, and the stone's broken, and I do need to get it repaired so I can wear it again.
Well, that's pretty bad, isn't it?
Well, there are other things like the decorating the room. She said something about a gutter coming away from the wall, and in my daughter's room we need to get that fixed because it's on the outside and it's causing a bit of damp, so we do need to get some decorating done. She talked about wooden floors needing to be made smooth because we've got wooden floors that have been put down, they're a bit uneven, so we need to get that sorted.
Magazine?
Magazine, I write for a magazine. Something, yeah, I do, I didn't tell you that. I do like a Q&A thing, nutrition Q&A thing for a magazine, and I do quite a lot of, you know, writing and things on websites too, so...
But she did mention Morocco.
That would, Morocco's not on the cards at the moment, so sorry.
Morocco going or
The thing is, when you're doing readings, and especially when you're doing this sort of reading, you're just floating around, and you have to say everything that comes in, otherwise you can't get on to the next bit. It could have been worse. I could have been talking about budgie or something. But you know, Morocco. I don't know why. It could be that the next thing you're involved in is to do with Morocco. I mean, so what I don't do is make the mistake of rounding it off. This means this. If you don't know, don't say. So I don't know any more than that.
But you did see, you were talking about sort of walking and rambling long distances, and you're not a walker, are you?
No, I have thought about doing that sort of thing before, but I've got a 6-month-old daughter, so I don't really fancy putting her on my back and taking her...
You're going to end up rambling in Morocco, you know that.
I think it's I found interesting because I didn't know anything about you until we sat down here. And I remember when we were doing it saying, you know so much about what to eat and the right way to be, and you're very informed. I don't know what I was thinking, and now I find out you're a nutritionist.
Overall view?
Very good, some very precise, accurate sort of bits in there, a couple of bits that were slightly not right, but things that made me think, oh God, the magazine thing definitely was spot on, I think.
Tell you what struck me about Mia's reading. I think you were picking up on me, Mia. Every single statement that Annie accepted also applies to me. And you often find that when you look at a psychic reading, you can read stuff...
You've got a lozenge-shaped stone ring that you might be wearing.
The summary that I've got there says there's a ring that you should be wearing. I lost my wedding ring between the floorboards, never managed to retrieve it.
Magazine?
Magazine, I co-edit The Skeptic.
Yes, you've got wooden floors at home.
Wooden floors at home.
Something that's one of the uneven.
Yeah.
Gutter?
Yeah.
Self-employed?
Well, pretty much. You can don't tell the day job. You know,
Are you
the flexible working
rambling
hours.
and Moroccoing?
No, I'm afraid I don't do those either. But it really struck me that every single statement there actually also
sorry,
applied to me.
You did not wear a diamond,
overall
I haven't heard that bit. I think the
Describe-
summary on the ring on there doesn't actually mention the type of ring.
The
as I
other thing
recall.
is, Mia also said, you're looking at a bike and you might be about to buy a bike, which is quite an unusual thing to think someone might be doing. And actually, over the last week, I've been thinking, well, I might buy a bike so I can put my daughter on the back on a little seat,
yes.
and because I don't drive, so I want to be able to take her out and about on my bike. So
It's good,
I
isn't
don't
it?
know.
Right.
I mean,
Susie next. Let's
Yes, let's have a look at
let's have a look at
Susie.
Susie.
It's going to scan your body and see what we pick up. Spiritually very open. Take 3 cards for me.
well, to me, that's just a 10 of spades. Can you just explain a bit more?
It's more of a focus. It's like a crystal ball and I'm just getting messages. It's a form of plugging in. But what I'm feeling in this situation is there's an issue here, a real sadness or a loss or a lot of pain linked to motherhood. Just write down anything and sign it. You are intuitive, as we see the letters that don't join together. This is a very strong, dynamic woman, that needs to grow into her power. You are that person, but you need all these bits of you to catch up.
So, this complication around the mother figure that you picked up on there, Susie.
Yes, well, I mean, I was fostered till I was 6 and then Mum died 2 years later, so having my own daughter now has put me in touch with a lot of those feelings of abandonment.
Yes.
And sort of proving that to myself that I'm not like my mum, I suppose, although, I'm sure she was a great person, but changing things and healing it for the next generation, I suppose, really important. So I found your reading more sort of therapeutic, I would say, than the other.
More emotional reading.
Yeah, really emotional and tapping into that whole thing about motherhood. And I think that that happens to a lot of people if they've lost a parent. When they then have children, that then puts them in touch with those feelings of loss or experiencing those issues that they had when they were children.
Now, I would say, Chris, that was an emotional interview that would apply to a lot of women. Come into your own female power, you're insecure, but you can be strong. A lot of women would feel that.
I think that's it. I mean, and even the comments about kind of loss associated with motherhood have so many different possible interpretations. It could be, as you said, that your mother has died, and obviously that everybody would find that very traumatic. It could be that you've actually, as a mother, lost a child. Again, very traumatic. But there's so many different ways in which you could find something in your life
that she
that
likes
could...
space, that she's strong, she's dynamic, but she's insecure. All those sort of
These
parts
are
of her
typical...
personality. That's pretty bang on for a person.
These are pretty much applied to anybody. These are typical Barnum statements, as we call them. They apply to absolutely everybody. If I was to do you a kind of reading just based on Barnum statements, I'd say things like, you've achieved quite a lot in life, but you've got so much more potential. If only you could tap in on
Final right
it.
to reply, Susan.
Yes.
Final right to reply.
Well, I think the whole point here is that being psychic is not just about tuning into spirit. The spirit is linked to the thinking, the feeling and the doing centre, and it's about linking it all together. And the psychicness is about helping people move on in their lives. That's what it should be about.
Well, as we'd expect today, some hits, some misses. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much indeed, ladies, for putting your necks right on the block there. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
you're brilliant.
Absolutely
Very good.
fascinating, and thank you for coming in.
Your
as
last
well.
word, yes, no?
Oh, definitely. I thought they were all great, but I'm going to have a different view to you because that's your job to think like that. And I thought they were all great. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you all very much indeed.